And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports, also on mybasin.com. Thank you so much for being with us on a somewhat windy afternoon in the South Basin. 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from left field today, but beautiful blue skies right now, about 66 degrees. Temperatures going to start dropping as we move throughout the festivities tonight, but should be a good one between two Skyline Conference crosstown rivals. As the Henley Hornets, the number one team in the 4A classification, take on the Klamath Union Pelicans, who enter play 1-10 and 0-3 in conference play. This is the second meeting between these two teams this week. Both squads met up back on Tuesday, where Henley escaped with an 11-1 victory over Klamath Union, ended up being run-ruled in 5 innings. Hornets looked good, got great starting pitching, and hope to continue that today, tossing out Max Price on the mound, the freshman getting the nod for the Hornets, and he'll be going up against Jack Everett for Klamath Union on the mound as well for the Pelicans. Again, should be a great one today. Beautiful weather for it, has been all week in the Basin. Coming to you from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. Glad to be with you. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the season that each of these two teams have had so far, as well as a look at starting lineups. We'll get that for you. Coming up is first pitch in just a little while. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith's Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, for retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com for our continuing coverage of Henley baseball this season. The Hornets enter play 11-1 overall in the season, 3-0 in conference plays. They get ready to square off with Klamath Union. Let's take a quick look at how the Skyline Conference is shaping up so far this season. Of course, At the top of the list, the number one team in the state is the Henley Hornets. Mentioned their record, 11-1, 3-0 in conference play. Hidden Valley is tied with them for first place in the conference. They're also 3-0 in league play. They're 7-3 overall, ranked number 15 in the state of Oregon. Mazama is behind them, winless in conference play, 0-1 and 1-8 overall on the season. Phoenix follows them, 0-2 in league play. Both of those losses came to Henley back on Saturday. They are 4-8 overall on the season, ranked 20th in the state. And then finally, the Klamath Union Cross Point Christian Co-op, the Pelicans, in which the Hornets are playing today, 0-3 in league play, 1-10 overall on the season. They are ranked last in the state in the 4A classification, number 31 overall. However, they have scored fairly decent. As a matter of fact, they've scored the third most runs in the conference. And you look at some of the games that they've played, it's just been the pitching that's really hampered Klamath Union this year. They've given up the most runs in the state in the 4A classification. But some of these games that they've lost, they have scored some runs. I look at a 12-7 loss to Madras. That was back on March 21st. I look at a 14-13 loss that they took to Coquille. That was on March 29th, the game I'm sure that the Pelicans feel like they probably should have won. And the one game that they did win was a 15-14 victory over Tillamook, and that was a game, I think, going into the final portions of it, that Klamath Union might not have thought that they would win, but they put up a 13-run inning against the Cheesemakers and ended up beating Tillamook in that game for their only victory of the season. So we know this team can score, but it's a matter of trying to keep Henley off the board, who has looked really good to start the year. Again, 11-1 on the season. And number one in the state. They won their first 5 games, and since a 5-4 loss to Banks back on March 28th, they have not lost. 6 consecutive victories, and in that time, in those 6 games, they've only given up 10 runs. 7 of those were to Crook County not too long ago, back on Wednesday last week, and Crook County is ranked in the top 10 of the state. So these Hornets are primed, and they look good. They look ready to go. We've mentioned the rankings and how the state looks so far. Let's take a look at the top 10 in the state of Oregon for 4A baseball. Of course, Henley tops the list, followed by Scappoose. North Marion is number 3. Pendleton is number 4. They're 500 at 7-7, but ranked highly based off of the teams that they've beaten. Newport is number 5. The Dalles is ranked 6th. Junction City is number 7. North Bend is ranked 8th. And St. Helens number 9, followed by Marist at number 10. That's how the top 10 looks for the state of Oregon. Well, we have some time before the teams take the field. Let's go ahead and meet our starting lineups for both squads tonight as the Klamath Union Pelicans. We'll start with them as the visitors. Leading off and in left field is going to be Brandon Jones. Tilden Kaufman bats second at shortstop, followed by the catcher P.J. Safford hitting third. Batting cleanup, the right fielder Braden Dawson. Batting fifth is number 10, the center fielder Ryan Chase. Hitting sixth, number 3, the second baseman Chase Connect. And Andrew Segura, the first baseman, bats seventh, followed by Lamar Quaylar at third base. And rounding out the Pelican order is Jamar Quaylar, the designated hitter. He will be hitting instead of the pitcher, Jack Everett. We'll take a look at the pitchers once they take the mound, but let's flip the page over and take a look at the Henley starting 9. Leading off in center field is going to be Peyton Price, followed by the catcher, Connor Shively. Aiden Hayes bats third at shortstop, and hitting cleanup, the third baseman, big bat in the lineup, Mark Carpenter, hitting for the Hornets today after a 4 RBI performance yesterday, including a home run. Batting fifth is the first baseman, Owen Harper, followed by Max Price, the pitcher. Hitting seventh, the right fielder, Lane Frank, followed by Bo Pyle at second base. Then we've got Luke Austin, the left fielder, rounding out the Henley order. And on the mound for Henley is going to be Max Price. And Price, of course, the freshman, getting the nod. The second freshman to start in this series, as Corbin Hamilton got the nod back on Tuesday. Well, it looks like the managers, the coaches rather, are getting ready to meet at home plate. Mr. Joe Tacchini for the Henley Hornets and Michael Overstreet for the Klamath Union Pelicans. Well, that means we'll get ready to step aside before we get ready for first pitch. Just a few minutes away from the Skyline Conference League matchup between the Pelicans and the Hornets. It's coming up on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Thread. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Back with you from Henley High School. Rosser Field, the home of the Henley Hornets, in beautiful shape today. Green as far as the eye can see, and it's a fantastic day for baseball. I mentioned the forecast a few minutes ago, but let's again check once more. About 66 degrees right now in the South Basin. Wind blowing in from the west, and that's going to be, pretty much directly in from right field, it seems, just over that fence out there, so that could kill a few balls going out towards right field. A little bit different situation than what we saw yesterday, where it was more so blowing in from left field. Kind of across the field, though, could lift a few balls out towards left, and Henley has some dangerous pull right-handed hitters. It's going to be Max Price who's getting the start today for Henley, and as we take a look at his pitching numbers, this is only his second start of the season. This is his third appearance overall this year. He's yet to give up an earned run in his 7 innings of work as a freshman, getting the start today against Klamath Union. And again, we talked about the time that these two teams played yesterday. 11-1 was the score that Henley beat the Pelicans. And Klamath Union, they scored their first run fairly quickly. It was a leadoff triple for Brandon Jones. He would score on an error, but that was really the only offense that the Pelicans got all day. They hope to change things a little bit today. They've changed up their starting lineup a bit. They've added in a new center fielder, Ryan Chase, and that's, well, to my count, really the only change that they've made to the defense. Changed up the batting order a little bit to try to collect a win against the Hornets today, who are in their home yellow jerseys with Henley written in cursive across their chest and in navy blue. It's underlined as well in that navy blue. They've got their navy blue caps with the yellow H on it and white pants today. For the Pelicans, they're wearing their road alternate uniforms with gray pants and the red pinstripe down the side. They've got red tops with Pelicans written across the chest in white in cursive. They've also got white trim around the jerseys and red caps today with the white P standing for Pelicans. Had their head coach Michael Overstreet on our talk show the other night on Ballin' in the Basin, airing on this station on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Talked about a wide range of things, and not limiting to the game that was played back on Tuesday. He said the things that they're going to have to try to do to win a game today, just limit the free passes. That was a big deal, allowing Henley to get runners on base and only taking a couple hits in an inning to knock guys in. I mean, Henley scored 11 runs yesterday, but they only needed 5 hits to do it. So Klamath Union is going to have to, to keep themselves in the game, limit the free passes, and potentially score early, as we are just about ready for baseball today. Getting started just about right on time. Scheduled for a 5 o'clock first pitch, and it looks like we'll be right there. It's a ground ball hit towards short on the first pitch. Hayes up with it. He's going to throw on to first for the very first out of the inning on the first pitch of the game. Pitch in the dirt there to Tilden Kaufman, who's up at the plate now with one away in the top of the first inning. And that one is hit back up towards the middle, a slow roller out towards short. Hayes charges it, fires on to first, and that's in time. Back-to-back ground outs to short is how the Pelicans will start this ball game. So 2 quick outs in the top of the first bring up P.J. Safford. Right-handed sophomore for Klamath Union. He's gotten the start at catcher. Here's the first pitch to him. Off-speed pitch is going to miss. The count 1-0 to Safford. Safford hit about 500 on the season so far. He's second on the team in batting average. The 1-0 pitch is fouled off. The count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 to Safford is lifted behind second base into right field, but charging in and making the catch is Lane Frank. The Pelicans go down in order to start the ball game as we head to the bottom of the first, scoreless on 104.3 and 960 and mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's right here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com, our continuing coverage of Henley baseball this year. Let's take a look at the man on the mound for the Pelicans. It's Jack Everett. This will be his second start on the season, his fourth appearance overall. An ERA of 6 over just 4 2/3 innings of work. He's given up 12 runs, but again, only 4 of them earned, so on pace there for a high ERA. Again, Klamath Union has suffered a lot of unearned runs this season, although, again, hoping to trim that down today. That's one of the things that we talked with Coach Overstreet about on our show last night on 104.3 and 960 Sports on Ballin' in the Basin, just trying to limit the free passes. So as long as Everett can just try to throw strikes, allow this Henley Hornets order to make contact and potentially drive themselves out of innings, that's going to be the key for Klamath Union to stay in this ball game. But Peyton Price is going to lead things off for the Hornets on the season. Price is batting .394 at the top of the Henley order. Here's the first pitch to him. Look to miss high, 1-0. So Price, Shively, and Hayes, the top 3 in the order to try to get things started in the first inning for Henley. The 1-0 pitch is hit in the air towards left field. Going back is Jones, but it looks like he'll run out of room, foul. Count moves to 1-1. Price in the win yesterday was 0 for 2. He walked twice and would score twice. Otherwise, he flew out and reached on an error. Takes a pitch high and tight. 2 balls and a strike now to Price. Price, one of the handful of seniors on this Henley roster. And again, we mentioned his younger brother, Max Price, getting the start on the mound. The 2-1 is an off-speed pitch that comes in and hits Peyton, and so he will be aboard at first with nobody out, and in steps Connor Shively. Shively, the lone left-handed bat in the Henley order, leads the team in batting average, a scorching .486 to start the year. 16 of his 18 hits have been singles. So he's been good at just moving guys station to station. Price, a big lead off of first. Shively gets a hold of one, sends it to right field. That one could get down, and it will. Rounding second and headed for third is Price, and he will dive in safely. So a single for Shively puts runners at the corners for Aiden Hayes. Hayes this season batting .359 in the 3-hole for the Hornets. Prime RBI opportunity here. Hayes has the second most on the team with 11 runs batted in this season. Right-hander steps in. And here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch taken for strike one. Looked like Hayes just trying to get the timing down on that curveball. Good hitters will often take the first breaking pitch they see in an at-bat, and that time Hayes doing just that as Everett comes set with the 0-1 and delivers. Hayes hacks at that one, sends it into left field. That will get down in front of Jones and between his legs. 1 run is going to score. It looks like they're going to wave Shively around from third. He's headed to score, and he will. And the Hornets score 2 on an error in left field, and they lead 2-0. And Hayes wound up at second. Stepping in is Mark Carpenter. He had a great day back on Tuesday. First pitch swing and hard grounder foul down the third baseline. Carpenter knocked in 3 RBI back on Tuesday, 1 on an RBI double and 1 more on a solo homer in the 4th inning of that ball game. He also walked when the bases were loaded, so credit him with an RBI on that one as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Carpenter. It's taken outside for strike 2. 2 runs already home in the inning for Henley and 1 more in scoring position. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Henley leads 2-0. Everett comes set to Carpenter. Checks the runner at second. It's Hayes and delivers. Carpenter gets a hold of one, sends it high and deep into left field. Going back to the fence and running out of room is Jones. And a 2-run blast for Mark Carpenter gives the Hornets a 4-0 lead. That's Carpenter's 3rd home run of the season, 2nd in as many games, and he has been hot with the bat so far in this series. Clearing the bases and allowing Owen Harper to bat now with nobody out and nobody on at the bottom of the first. His team leads 4-0. Carpenter did a great job of letting that pitch just get deep into the zone. Kept his hands square and blasted it. We mentioned that the wind might blow a couple of balls out towards left field. I don't think that one needed the jet stream. That was a good hard hit. Ended up over the fence. The first pitch to Harper was taken for strike 1. Everett able to work out of the windup. The 0-1 pitch is taken inside for a ball, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to Harper. Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard and also carrying towards left field over the head of Jones and down for an extra base hit. Harper in at second standing, And he will stop there with a double here in the bottom of the first. Stepping in now, the pitcher, Max Price, batting with a runner in scoring position. Still nobody out in the inning. Let's take a look around the diamond for Klamath Union. Again, Jack Everett on the mound. P.J. Safford, his battery mate, behind the plate. Lamar Quaylar at third. Tilden Kaufman at short. Chase Connect at second. And Andrew Segura at first. We'll get the outfield after this. Price takes the first pitch for, I believe that was a ball inside, and it was. 1-0 the count to Max Price. The outfield for Klamath Union is Brandon Jones in left, Ryan Chase in center, and Braden Dawson in right field. And Everett's going to step off, check the runner at second. That's Owen Harper. Harper's been trying to come out of a slump himself recently. An extra base hit that he blasted to left field could help him with that. The 1-0 home to Price is taken. That missed high, 2-0. The delivery in the dirt. Safford, a good job of keeping it in front of him there and moving the count to 3-0, not allowing the runner to move over to third. Again, Harper aboard at second base. Price in a great hitter's count, but can afford to wait for a pitch he likes. Here's the 3-0 home, and it's going to be taken in the zone. So Price just spit on that one, and still ahead in the count, 3-1. Max Price this season hitting .278. The fifth leading hitter on this Hornets squad. Here's the 3-1 home. It's in the dirt, and Price is aboard on a walk. That will bring up Lane Frank. Frank bats with nobody out in the inning, and Harper on second, Price on first. Already 4 runs have scored for the Hornets in the bottom of the first. They lead by 4. Frank stepping in now. Frank this season batting .217, the number 7 hitter in the Henley order. Here's the first pitch to Frank. Off-speed pitch, fouled off. Frank a bit out in front of the off-speed pitch as he drives it foul. He struck out, flew out, and walked back in the game on Tuesday between these two teams. Timeout called as looks like Max Price has to tie the old cleats out there. Got to have those tied if you want to play, so it looks like we're just about ready to resume. All right, Frank, the right-handed batter, back into the box. He's faced with an 0-1 count. Runners at first and second. Nobody out in the bottom of the first. Henley leads 4-0. The pitch to Frank in the dirt. Skips off the plate and past P.J. Safford. And all the runners advance. So Harper to third. Price to second. And an unfortunate bounce right off the dish. Took a wicked hop against Safford. And will be a wild pitch. 1-1. The count to Frank. Now batting with 2 runners in scoring position. Still nobody out in the inning. Frank takes that one outside, 1-2. With runners in scoring position this season, Frank is batting .333. Has 2 in that spot now, but facing a 2-strike count. Everett comes set with the 1-2, kicks and fires. Off-speed pitch that Frank sends into left field and past a diving glove of the outfielder and down. 1 run is going to score. That's Harper. Max Price will round third and head for home. And a 2 RBI double for Lane Frank gives Henley a 6-0 advantage. Now we'll bring up Bo Pyle. Try to continue the rally for Henley, who have still not been out this inning. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Pyle in the win back on Tuesday was 0 for 1. He flew out in his only at-bat. He also walked and would come around to score. First pitch is in the dirt and skips past Safford, and advancing to third is going to be Frank. So 90 feet away from scoring, and that will prompt the pitching coach, Josh Overstreet, to emerge from the dugout. And I think that he's trying to wave off the infield, just wants to talk to his battery out there, and while he does so, we'll remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Also, by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make your journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Well, the home plate umpire having to go out and get Coach Overstreet off the mound, and it looks like the conference has concluded. It's a 1-0 count to Bo Pyle. He bats here with a runner aboard at third and nobody out in the bottom of the first. His team up 6-0. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a ball outside, 2-0 to Pyle. Pyle batting .200 on the season so far. He's started and played in all but one game for the Hornets so far this season. The 2-0 misses in the dirt, now 3-0 to Pyle. It seems like Klamath Union might have an arm warming up in the bullpen, although I'm not at a great position to see who it is. The 3-0 hit towards left center field. Moving back is Chase, and he is going to take it off a hop off the fence. So that will score Frank from third. Rounding second and headed for third is Pyle. The throw in is wide left, and so Pyle gets in standing on an RBI triple, scoring the 7th run of the inning for Henley as they lead 7-0. Ninth batter this inning for Henley is Luke Austin, the left fielder, hoping to drive in the run 90 feet away. Just about anything will do it. Ground ball, fly ball, of course a base hit as well. Again, still nobody out. Here's the first pitch on its way to Austin. It's going to miss high, 1-0. Luke Austin, second on the team in batting average, .448, hitting in the 9-hole. Here's the 1-0. That one will miss inside, 2-0. Safford tried to frame it up nicely for the home plate umpire, but it's not biting. 2-0 the count to Austin. Austin also finds ways to get on base, not just in the way of batting average, as the count runs now 3-0 to him. He's third on the team in walks at 7. 3-0 pitch home to Austin. That is going to miss inside, and a walk will put runners at the corners as the Hornets have batted around here in the first, and that will bring up Hayden Price. But with Coach Michael Overstreet headed out to the mound, it looks like that will be it for Jack Everett today. We've got a new arm coming in. We'll tell you who it is coming up on the other side as the Hornets lead 7-0 over Klamath Union. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And we welcome you back to Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School for our continuing coverage of Hornets baseball this season. In the bottom of the first inning against Klamath Union, Henley leads 7-0. They've already knocked the starter, Jack Everett, off the mound, and Ryan Glidden comes in to replace him. Now for Everett today, can't quite close the book on him yet. He is responsible for the runners that will be at first and third. Luke Austin at first, Bo Pyle at third. Again, 7 runs given up by Klamath Union and Everett in the innings so far. Still nobody out, by the way, and the Hornets have batted through the order. But of these 7 runs, 3 of them are unearned to my count against Everett. A couple came home off of a error that was out in left field made earlier this inning, and Carpenter hit a 2-run blast earlier on. Owen Harper drived in a couple with a double, but all these runs after that were earned against Everett as he failed to get an out in the bottom of the first inning. See if Ryan Glidden has any extra luck, the right-hander. Hoping to get things started today. Let's take a look at the numbers for him this season on the mound. Glidden has only worked 2 1/3 innings otherwise, and in so doing, he has given up 6 hits. This will be his 4th appearance this season for the Pels. And his first task will be Peyton Price. Price was hit by a pitch to lead off this inning. He would come around to score on that error I had mentioned earlier. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Safford, but 1-0 the count to Price. That one misses inside. Having to dance out of the way of it was Price. Now the count moves to 2-0. Right-hander Glidden looks in, comes set. Fires the 2-0. That one will miss outside. And the count moves now to 3-0. Connor Shively waits on deck. And a big hole on the right side of the infield for Peyton Price. The pitch is going to miss high, ball 4, and that will load the bases for Connor Shively. Austin moves to second. Pyle stays put at third. And Shively stepping in. He singled and would come around to score again on that error in the first inning. Or I suppose we're still in the first inning, but earlier this inning. First pitch to Shively, he's going to take it high, 1-0. Shively, the leading hitter on the Henley Hornets this season, batting .486, has 6 RBIs on the season. That's tied for 4th most on the team. Here's the 1-0. That's going to miss high as well, 2-0. A couple of fastballs that miss high. Glidden just has to finish these pitches down a little bit more, find the zone. The 2-0 set with Glidden and delivered for a strike, 2-1. The 2-1 as Glidden comes set and delivers from the stretch. That one is hit into the air, into left center field. Under it is Jones, the left fielder, to make the catch. Tagging from third is Pyle. Also from second is Austin. Both runners will advance. Pyle scores. Austin to third. A wild throw in allows Price to move up to second. So Henley leads now 8-0. A sacrifice fly for Shively nets him an RBI. And that is the first out in the inning and his first RBI of the ball game. Runners in scoring position at second base, it's Peyton Price. At third, it's Luke Austin. And in steps Aiden Hayes. Hayes hit a fly ball to left field in his first at-bat that was dropped by the left fielder Jones. It ended up scoring 2 runs, giving him a couple of RBIs, but Still technically 0 for 1 in the books as he takes a strike there. Now 0-1 behind in the count. That one misses there. A ball and a strike to Aiden Hayes. Glidden delivers. That one will find the zone, maybe a bit high for Hayes' liking, but a ball and 2 strikes. The count to the Henley shortstop. Big lead off of second from Price. And a modest lead off of third from Austin. Glidden comes set with the 1-2. Breaking pitch will come inside and hit Hayes. And so that will load the bases for the cleanup hitter, Mark Carpenter. And Carpenter already hit a home run earlier this inning. Was a 2-run blast that would score Aiden Hayes and himself. Now another great opportunity with runners in scoring position for the cleanup hitter. The first pitch from Glidden is going to miss high and wide, 1-0. Carpenter batting .368 this year. But as you look at his batting average with runners in scoring position, hitting .387. He also leads his team in RBI this season with 13. The 1-0 is going to miss in the dirt, 2-0. Eight runs home for the Hornets in the bottom of the first. They lead 8-0. The 2-0 to Carpenter is going to miss low, 3-0. On deck, Owen Harper. And in a normal situation, the way Glidden is working around the zone, not really the worst strategy against a guy like Carpenter. Don't want to give him something to hit, but with the bases loaded, got to find the zone. Here's the 3-0 on its way to Carpenter. That one will miss high and will walk in a run. Henley now leads 9-0. That will bring up Owen Harper, who doubled and came around to score earlier this inning. Hayes advanced to second, Price to third. And again, Carpenter aboard at first as Harper, who's been trying to battle his way out of a slump to start the year, is gifted with a great opportunity to do so here with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Pitch in the dirt to Harper. He's ahead in the count now, 1-0. Harper yesterday was 1 for 2, singled and scored a run in the 4th inning of that ballgame on Tuesday, rather not yesterday, but he also struck out and walked. He's ahead in the count now, 1-0. Bouncing ball towards third. Up with it is Cuellar, but he's going to bobble it on the transfer, and the throw is low. So everybody is safe, and Peyton Price scores. The Hornets now lead 10-0, and the bases remain loaded for Max Price. It's the second error of this inning for Klamath Union. First pitch into Price is going to miss, 1-0. So Owen Harper aboard at first, Carpenter at second, Aiden Hayes at third. At the plate is Max Price. Here's the 1-0. That is going to miss, 2-0. Price still without an at-bat. He walked and would come around to score in the first. As the catcher, Safford, goes out to talk with his man out there on the mound. It's an important thing for a catcher to do, and I think important for a guy like P.J. Safford, a sophomore, to get out and do, showing a little bit of leadership behind the plate. You know, you don't typically, if you're not around baseball too much, don't typically think is the catcher, is the captain of the infield, but certainly he is. And so Safford going out there to have a talk with Glidden in a 2-0 count against Max Price. Here's a pitch. Fouled off. Good hard fastball. Found the zone and was fouled off by Price. 2-1. Price back in the box. Here's the 2-1. It's in the dirt. Skips past Safford. Breaking for the plate from third. And scoring is Aiden Hayes. The Hornets up 11-0. And moving up to second is Harper. To third is Carpenter. And the count now 3-1 to Max Price. Pitch to Price, misses high, a walk, reloads the bases for Lane Frank. Frank looking to keep the rally started. He had a really good at-bat his first time around earlier this inning. He worked the count, got down 2 strikes, and then blasted a 2 RBI double earlier this inning. See what he can do here with the bases juiced and still only 1 out. The pitch to Frank. That's going to come in and hit him right away. Another run scores for Henley, and the bases remain loaded for Bo Pyle. Pyle tripled home a run earlier this inning. An opportunity to keep it going. Again, the bases remain loaded. Henley has scored 12 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and they lead by that number. Here's the pitch to Pyle from Glidden. Going to miss high. 1-0. For Henley in this inning, 12 runs have come across on only 6 base hits. They've also committed 2 errors. Again, it's been the free passes that have bitten the Pelicans in this bottom of the first. The 1-0. That will find the zone 1-1. Seven Henley batters have reached on a free pass, whether hit by pitch or a walk this inning. Swung on and missed. A nice pitch low in the zone. Moves the count to 1-2 against Bo Pyle. On deck is Luke Austin, the number 9 hitter in the Henley order, trying to bat once more here in the first. The 1-2 is going to miss high. 2-2 to Pyle. Two and two. Here's a pitch. That one will miss wide. A full count to Bo Pyle. The base is loaded. And again, still only 1 away in this inning. It was a sacrifice fly from Connor Shively that scored a run, was the only out so far. The full count pitch on its way from Glidden. That one will miss in the dirt. Walk in a run, and Henley now leads 13-0 in the bottom of the first. Harper comes in to score. Price to third. Frank to second. Now aboard at first is Bo Pyle. And that brings up Luke Austin. And they're going to make another pitching change out there as Coach Overstreet steps out. And we will get the changes for you coming up in just a moment. It looks like it's going to be Lamar Quaylar getting the ball for Klamath Union. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll continue this bottom of the first inning. Henley leads 13-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
And welcome you back to Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. It is Lamar Quaylar who steps in for Klamath Union. And I believe Glidden, who was the pitcher, headed out to center field. And so those are the changes as we have them so far. Unsure how this will affect the KU batting order so far, but well, at this point in the game, you can certainly close the book on the first pitcher of the game for KU, Everett. He wasn't able to record an out, gave up 6 hits, 9 runs, and as far as those earned runs go, I believe only 6 of them were earned, 2 walks. Glidden got 1 out this inning. He gave up 4 runs, 3 of those earned, and he walked 5. So far, Klamath Union has walked 7 batters in this bottom of the first, and Henley has taken advantage. It's one of the things we talked about in the pregame was trying to limit the free passes and keep yourself in a ball game. The Pelicans just haven't been able to do that here in the bottom of the first, and they find themselves down huge early. So Quaylar does not inherit a enviable situation either. The bases are loaded. At third, it's Price, Frank at second, Pyle at first, and Luke Austin bats. First pitch is going to miss wide, 1-0. Austin walked and came around to score earlier this inning. Here's the 1-0 home. That one's hit into shallow center field. Coming in is Glidden. That'll drop in front of him and score 1 run. And they will keep it at that. The Hornets content to play station to station as they lead now 14-0. As the bases remain loaded with 1 out for Peyton Price. So Price scored, Frank to third, Pyle to second, and for the third time this inning, we're seeing Peyton Price at the dish. He fouls off a pitch, 0-1. Price so far this game has been hit by a pitch and has walked. He's come around to score both times. The count now, ball and a strike. The scoreboard here says 2-0, but I thought he swung at that first pitch. I could have missed it. Hit in the air to left field. That's going to get down in front of Jones for a base hit. Frank scores. They're going to wave Pyle around, and he will score standing. 2 more runs home for the Hornets as they lead now 16-0 on an RBI single from Peyton Price. Austin stands at second. Aboard at first is Peyton Price, and Connor Shively bats now. He singled, came around to score in the first inning, and then hit a sacrifice fly also earlier this inning to be the only out so far, but give him the RBI. A productive at-bat for sure is behind in the count 0-1 after a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Quaylar delivers. Hit hard to right field. Down in front of Dawson, and everyone moves up a station. Bases are loaded for Aiden Hayes. Hayes so far reached on an error. Scored 2 runs earlier this inning. He was also hit by a pitch and would come home to score. The Hornets lead 16-0. In the bottom of the first, Hayes takes a big hack at that one, but fouls it off. The count 0-1. Bases are loaded. Still 1 out in the inning. Outfield for Klamath Union, playing quite a ways back and shaded a little bit towards the left side for the right-handed hitting Hayes. As Quaylar comes set for the 0-1, the pitch in the dirt, blocked by Safford. 1-1. Again, Henley ranked number 1 in the state of Oregon in the 4A classification. The 1-1 home will find the zone, 1-2. Klamath Union ranked 31st out of 31 teams in the 4A class. And so just the disparity alone, you can see how Henley might find themselves in front, although 16 runs in the first inning is uncharacteristic of any squad. 1-2 is in the dirt, 2-2. That one will miss as well, and the count runs full now with the bases loaded and 1 out to Aiden Hayes. Mark Carpenter waits on deck. The 3-2 pitch is going to come in and hit Aiden Hayes. A run will score, and that will give Henley a 17-0 lead. And Mark Carpenter steps to the plate. That scored Austin. Price to third. To second is Shively. The second time Hayes has been hit by a pitch today. Carpenter has hit a home run and walked in this inning. He came around to score after the walk as well. And after that run scored, you can close the book as well on Ryan Glidden. We'll get you his totals after this. The first pitch to Carpenter coming in miss high. 1-0. For Glidden today, he recorded 1 out. He gave up 7 runs. 6 of them earned, 5 walks for Glidden. Again, Quaylar in relief of him, the third pitcher this inning for KU. The 1-0 will find the zone. 1-1 to Carpenter. Here's the 1-1 home. That one will miss in the dirt. 2-1. As it bounced to the plate. 9 hits, 17 runs scored for Henley. 2 Klamath Union errors, but again, in total, 13 free passes given up so far as a pitch high in the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mark Carpenter. The 2-2 home is ripped into the air to left center field, and another home run for Mark Carpenter, a grand slam here in the bottom of the first inning. 21-0 as Mark Carpenter sends his second one over the fence in this ball game. That brings up Owen Harper with the bases empty and 1 out. Two home runs in a single inning. Carpenter seeing the ball well today. A nice even swing. As looks like our umpire ran out of baseballs, getting some more. It'll be Carpenter's first grand slam of the season. Again, his 4th home run overall on the year. And extends his lead on team lead in RBIs. He's now at 17 by my count. Ground ball towards short. Kaufman can't come up with it underneath his glove on the routine grounder, and Harper will reach on an error, the second time he's done so this game. Third KU error this inning. And so Max Price will bat now. He is without an at-bat as he's walked and came around to score both times. A pitch in the dirt is taken for a ball, 1-0. Hornets have already batted around twice this inning, and Price is the 6th batter in the order. Hornets flirting with doing it 3 times in a single inning. A hard ground ball towards third that is foul. A ball and a strike. The count to Max Price. The bottom of the first. Again, 21-0 the score. This is the most runs Henley has scored in an entire game this season. The previous high was when they scored 18 runs against Philomath in an 18-10 victory. The count 2-1 to Price. The pitch is going to miss, 3-1. On deck is Lane Frank. The 3-1 home is going to miss. And another walk surrendered by the Klamath Union pitching staff moves Harper to second. Price aborted first with his 3rd walk of the game. And that brings up Lane Frank, who doubled home a run, 2 runs actually, earlier this inning. He was also hit by a pitch. He came around to score twice. And now bats with a runner in scoring position. The first pitch to Frank is taken for ball 1. Not the only game being played here at the Henley Sports Complex, as the 1-0 is on the way to Frank. Swung on and missed, 1-1. We, of course, have a middle school track and field meet going on behind us, and we can also check in on the Henley Lady Hornets softball team taking on Klamath Union today. They're in the top of the 3rd, and Henley leads 12-0 in the softball game. But again, back here, the Hornets up 21-0 in the bottom of the 1st inning. A 2-1 count to Lane Frank. Runner at second, Owen Harper. At first, it's Price. Here's the pitch. That will miss. 3-1 to Frank. On deck, with potentially a bases loaded opportunity, is Bo Pyle. We'll see what Quaylar comes with here on the 3-1. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in is the left fielder Jones to make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Two outs in the bottom of the 1st. Bo Pyle steps in with runners at 1st and 2nd. At 1st, it's Price. At 2nd, it's Harper. Quaylar looking to just get his bats back up. First pitch swing and ripped into center field for a single. And they are going to hold Harper at 3rd. And the bases are loaded for the Hornets once again as Luke Austin steps in. Austin, so far in this inning, has walked, come around to score. He also singled home a run earlier this inning. Give him the RBI on that one. Bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs. That pitch taken in the dirt, 1-0. Austin awaiting the 1-0 from Quaylar. Here's the pitch. It is tipped foul. Ball and a strike. The 1-1 on its way from Quaylar is going to miss, 2-1. Wind picking up just a tad here, not where it was a few minutes ago. But that's how it tends to go here in the South Basin. The 2-1 misses 3-1. On deck, back to the top of the order, would be Peyton Price next for the 4th time in this inning alone. (3-1) to Austin. Here's the pitch. And it's chopped foul, so the count will run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded for Luke Austin. Cuellar comes set. Finds his pitch. Kicks and delivers in the dirt for ball 4. Another run comes home to score for Henley. They're up 22-0 here in the bottom of the first. Austin aboard. That will score Harper. Move Price to third. Pyle to second. Now aboard at first is Austin. And now we're back to the top for Peyton Price in his last at-bat. He hit a 2 RBI single. Fouled off the first pitch to him, 0-1. Price has reached base on each of his at-bats in this game so far, the 0-1. It is popped, playable behind home plate, but will drop harmlessly to the turf, 0-2. All right, 0-2 the count to Peyton Price. Cuellar comes set and delivers the 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air in foul territory in left field, and that will get down in foul territory. So we'll do it again, 0-2 to Peyton Price. It's been about 45 minutes in this half inning alone for Henley, but Cuellar trying to get out of it here on the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off, count remains 0-2. On deck is Connor Shively, trying to get his 4th at-bat in the game in. The 0-2 on the way. Fouled off once more. Count remains 0-2. Price putting up a good battle at the plate there. Cuellar, the right-hander, comes set, tries the 0-2 again to Peyton Price. That one in the dirt. Skips away from Safford. Breaking for the plate and scoring is Max Price. And so the score now 23-0 Henley. Now only 2 runners on at second and third. It's going to be Pyle at third, Austin at second. Price comes in to score. But Peyton Price still at the plate in a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. That is fouled off. And he's trying to say he made contact. The umpire is saying that he did not make contact and it was a foul ball. It was certainly a foul ball. Did he make contact? Yes, he did. Okay, the first place umpire says he made contact. I mean, truth be told, that specific pitch wouldn't have made all that much impact on the game itself, but still want to get it right. 1-2, the count remains to Peyton Price. Here's the pitch. Price, sharp ground ball, foul. Count remains 1-2. Price putting up a tough battle at the plate. First base is open, and Connor Shively waits on deck. And the 1-2. Ripped to shortstop. Kaufman over, bobbles it, and he will not be able to make a play. A 1-run will score. Pyle in. Austin to third. And Price reaches on an error. The 4th KU error this inning as Henley now leads 24-0. Runners at the corners for Connor Shively. Shively singled twice this inning and also knocked in a run on a sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch to Shively. It's in the dirt, 1-0. Shively leads his team in hits this season with 20. Here's the 1-0 to him. Ripped into right field and down for a base hit. One more run will score as Austin touches home. Another RBI single for Connor Shively brings up Aiden Hayes as the Hornets lead now 25-0. First pitch in there for strike one against Aiden Hayes. And the old scorebook starting to look a little bit like of a mess on my book. A lot of runs here in the first inning for Henley. Second pitch in there, 0-2 to Aiden Hayes. He's been hit by a pitch twice and reached on an error. A couple of RBIs on that error, and he came around to score all three times. The 0-2 to Hayes. Hayes sends one foul down the left field line. And the count remains 0-2 to Hayes. On deck is Mark Carpenter, who's hit 2 home runs this inning, one of them a grand slam. 6 RBIs total for him on the game. Here's the 0-2 to Hayes. In the dirt, 1-2. One and two on the way in the dirt. Well, doesn't quite make it to the dirt, more off the lip of the infield grass. 2-2. The count to Aiden Hayes. He's worked his way back into this at-bat, started 0-2 in the count, and has taken a couple pitches. Here's the 2-2. That one will miss, and the count runs full 3-2. Again on deck is Carpenter. Full count pitch on the way to Hayes is swung on and missed, and the Pelicans finally end the bleeding after a 25-run bottom of the first inning. We'll head to the top of the second next as we continue your coverage of Henley baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
And we welcome you back to 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. And we've got some subs coming in for Henley after a big 25-run first inning. And we've get those changes for you real quick. Still on the mound is going to be Max Price. But around the diamond, we'll reset the Henley defense for you. Shively still behind the dish. Ian Myers getting in at third. Aiden Hayes still at short. Carson Sims getting in at second base with Thomas Bakke at first. Corbin Hamilton in left field. And we've got Ryan Douglas in center, and Shiv Patel in right field. Those are your defensive changes for the Hornets. After a big is an understatement, a massive bottom of the first inning, Henley finds themselves up 25. As we get ready for the top of the second, it'll be Braden Dawson, Ryan Chase, and Chase Connect. That's 4, 5, 6 in the KU order. Count 2-0 to Dawson. Dawson in the KU loss on Tuesday was 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. Here's the pitch. That one does find the zone, 2-1. Know some folks from around are listening for Braden Dawson. Want to thank everybody who's made some time to watch and participate in this afternoon's game. 2-2 the count to Dawson. And the pitch. Taken outside, 3-2. Just getting things going in the top of the second. Here's the pitch from Price. That is going to be a walk as the Pelicans have a base runner in the top of the second. See if Ryan Chase can build a rally. It's one of the beautiful things about baseball. It's never over until the final out. Klamath Union has stuck around in a couple of games this year. I'm sure speeches in the dugout, reminders of the Tillamook game that I had mentioned in the pregame, where Klamath Union scored 13 runs in a single inning. Now, even if they do that here, still quite a ways to climb, but this Pelicans team can rally. They've done it before. The 0-1 pitch popped up towards second base. Sims under it, battling the sun, but will make the catch for the first out. That was actually, yes, Ryan Chase. Pardon me, Ryan Glidden was there as we had the mix-up in the batting order. Chase Connect batting now with a runner on first and one away. He takes the first pitch high, 1-0. Swung on and missed. Connect a little bit tardy on the fastball. 1-1. And Klamath Union this year co-opted with Cross Point Christian. Chase is the only player from Cross Point to make it onto the KU baseball squad, although he attended Klamath Union in years past and transferred to Cross Point this season. He still wanted to play with KU, and so without Cross Point offering a baseball program, they decided, well, might as well invite all the kids over there who want to play. Chase right now the only Cross Point Christian player as he rips a single into right center field. That's going to get down. And Dawson advances to second, brings up Andrew Segura. First base hit of the day for KU. And with one away in the top of the second, Andrew Segura steps to the plate. Taking a look at Segura this season. As he takes strike one, Segura is batting .235. And he takes strike two. 0-2 the count to Segura. And he goes down swinging, strike three. And that will bring up Lamar Quaylar. Max Price comes set from the stretch. Delivers strike one on a swing and a miss from Quaylar. 0-1 the count. The pitch is hit in the air, right field. Patel over, but that one will get down in front of him. They're going to hold Dawson at third, and so the bases are loaded for Jamar Cuellar. A couple of base hits this inning for KU have loaded the bases. That and a walk to lead things off. Klamath Union has got some business brewing here in the second as they try to at least cut into this massive deficit they find themselves with. Jamar Cuellar steps in. He's the designated hitter for Klamath Union, and he will foul off the first pitch he sees for strike one. In yesterday's loss, he grounded out and struck out in 2 at-bats. Here's the 0-1. Taken, a nice curveball that started out of the zone and curved right back into it. 0-2 the count to Cuellar. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. That is taken outside for a ball, 1-0, or pardon me, 1-2. The count to Cuellar. On deck, top of the order, Brandon Jones. Here's the 0-2. Taken in the dirt, 2-2. Good at bat here from Cuellar, trying to work it a little bit, but really the goal here is another base hit. Trying to keep the rally going for the Pels. A big gap on the left side of the infield. The 2-2 misses wide right, a full count. Max Price, the freshman, again in his second inning of work on a start today, is only his second start of the season. Full count to Cuellar. Here's the pitch. That will ring him up, a high fastball. Ooh, that one looked high, but that will retire the side. We go to the bottom half of the second with Henley leading 25-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Preparing for the bottom of the second inning, Henley leads 25-0 over Klamath Union as we look towards a new pitcher for Klamath Union that will also give us a new catcher. As P.J. Safford takes the mound for Klamath Union. Get you some numbers on Safford as we wrap up some of the other changes for KU. It looks like Braden Dawson has come in to catch. And I think they sent Cuellar to right field, who started as the designated hitter. And so for Safford this season, the sophomore, he has had only 1 inning of work so far this season and 1 appearance out of the bullpen. He gave up 2 runs, neither of them earned in that appearance. But the sophomore, who pitched a few games for the Klamath Falls Falcons, if I recall correctly, this season. He's got a couple of Henley Hornets teammates on the Falcons. I think of guys like Mark Carpenter and obviously his own teammate Braden Dawson, who will be catching for him today, played for the Falcons. And they're coached by Pete Whistler, who's an assistant on this Henley baseball team. And excited to see Safford getting to pitch today because he, along with a handful of the underclassmen, are truthfully a part of the potentially bright future for the Klamath Union Pelicans. Again, we've talked with Coach Michael Overstreet on our weekly sports talk show on 104.3 and 960 Sports. And Safford specifically was a student at Ponderosa Middle School and decided to stay with the program heading into high school because Coach Michael Overstreet, a teacher at Ponderosa Middle School. And Safford, a hand with a few other underclassmen, looking to, well, make positive changes in this program. So we've got a hitter. Instead of Mark Carpenter at the plate for Henley, it's going to be Myers. And Myers ahead in the count, 2-0 against Safford. Myers hits one in the air, playable for Safford, and he will make the catch himself for the first out. So this will bring up Thomas Bakke hitting in place of Owen Harper, getting some playing time here. Bakke in a 1-1 count with one away in the bottom of the second inning. Safford, the right-hander, ready to deliver. Bakke rips one into center field. Under it is Glidden for the second out. Two quick outs for Klamath Union as Max Price settles in. He is without an at-bat today. In 3 plate appearances, he's walked in all 3 and came around to score each time. Bats now with nobody on and 2 outs. The pitch to Price is weakly hit in front of Safford. He comes up with it, fires on to first, and the Hornets go down in order. You hear the cheers from the Klamath Union faithful behind me as they are excited for a inning in order. We head to the top half of the third. Henley leads 25-0. 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Top of the third inning, and Henley leads Klamath Union 25-0. Still the same pitcher, Max Price, on the bump for Henley. Due up this half for Klamath Union. It's going to be the top of the order. Brandon Jones, Tilden Kaufman, and P.J. Safford looking to get a rally started for the Pelicans. Again, they're down 25 here. Let's take a quick peek into the Hornets softball team, which is also playing Klamath Union today. In the bottom of the fourth inning, Henley leads 12-0. Hard ground ball out towards second, underneath the glove of Sims and into center field. An error charged to the second baseman and a leadoff base runner for Klamath Union. A routine ground ball underneath the glove of the freshman second baseman Carson Sims. It brings up Tilden Kaufman with a runner aboard at first. That is hit into foul territory behind first base. Bakke does not give much of a chase as it's out of play. And an 0-1 count to Tilden Kaufman. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. That one winds up behind Kaufman, doesn't hit him. But a 1-1 count and the chance of wearing it come out from the KU dugout. And a 1-1 count. Price comes set. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Hayes touches the bag for one, fires to second, and a 6-3 double play gives us 2 outs in the inning for P.J. Safford. Safford 0 for 1 today, flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Talk about this Klamath Union team. I mean, I think it does say something about this squad as Safford takes a ball 1-0, that you're down this much in a season where you haven't won very much, and yet the dugout's still joking around. And, some coaches might take that and say, well, that's not a great look to feel like you're joking around and having fun losing like this. But the way Michael Overstreet phrased it to us was that it's a good thing. It's good that this team is able to get along the way it does and have fun together. Safford, a bouncing ball out toward short. Hayes comes up with it, fires onto first in time, and the Pelicans go down in order. As we head to the bottom half of the third, Henley leading 25-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Preparing for the bottom of the third inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Henley leads Klamath Union 25-0 as we get ready for this half. Due up for Henley, it's going to be, I believe, Shiv Patel, Carson Sims, and Corbin Hamilton for the Hornets. Just making some changes here to my own book again, kind of, especially on this side with Henley up with 25 runs scored, batted around 3 times in the first inning. Starting to look a little bit like chicken scratch here, but that's about the best I can do at this point. All right, Shiv Patel steps in as the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third, and he will get on base after he's plunked on the first pitch. Carson Sims stepping in now, the freshman, looking to get on base, avenge the error that was committed in the top half of this inning. Sims hits for Bo Pyle, who exits the game 2 for 2 with a few RBIs. Sims fouls off the first pitch he sees. 0-1. The count to Sims. And he's been a reserve player, one of the first guys off the bench for Henley this season. But in 4 at-bats, he is hitless, but that could change as he hits one on the ground towards shortstop, and it's off the glove of Kaufman. We'll see if they give him the hit or the error on that one, as it was a tough ball to get to. It did make contact with Kaufman's glove, and they are going to mark that an error. So Sims will have to wait for his first hit of the season They'll mark that an E6. He's safe at first. Patel moves to second. And in steps Corbin Hamilton, another Henley freshman. Here's the first pitch from Safford. That one's ripped into left field. Coming in is Jones. He takes it after a couple of steps for the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the order. And hitting in for Peyton Price will be Ryan Douglas. This is the first we've seen of Douglas so far this league season as Safford steps off. And Douglas only has one other at-bat this season. And hitless in that one other opportunity, but finds himself here with a runner in scoring position. First pitch swinging on a ground ball into left field. They're going to hold Patel at third, so the bases will be loaded for Connor Shively. Patel to third, Sims to second. And Shively bats with the bases loaded and just one out. First pitch to Shively is taken for a strike, 0-1. The left-hander thought about pulling the trigger on that one, thought twice, but it's called a strike anyway. Shively so far today has knocked in 2 runs and has singled 3 times. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Shively, mentioned, leads his team in hits. 18 hits so far on the season. That is 4 more than the next, with Mark Carpenter and Aiden Hayes tied for second on the team. Shively steps in. The 1-1 is taken for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes now to Connor Shively. Again, Dawson behind the plate for Safford, who started the game as the catcher. Now trying to work out of a bases-loaded jam. The 1-2. A curveball that's hit and down into left field. Patel will score. They're going to keep Sims at third, and Henley again leaving the bases loaded. They lead 26-0 after an RBI single from Shively. That's his 3rd RBI of the day. And that brings up Aiden Hayes. He's been hit by a pitch twice. He's struck out and reached on an error all in the first inning. The 0-0 pitch was fired in there for a strike against Aiden Hayes. Here's the 0-1 from Safford. That one is hit into left field. Back a few steps is Jones. And he will make the catch against the wall for the second out. Sims will come home to score, give Henley a 27-run lead. And that was a great catch in left field by Jones, battling the sun, running backwards, banged up against the wall. That was a great play. Sims came home to score. Douglas advanced to third. Shively stayed put at first. Now 2 outs in the inning for Ian Myers. He hits one to left. Jones under it once more, and he will make the catch to end the inning. The Hornets score 2 runs on 2 base hits. They leave 2 stranded. They lead 27-0 as we head to the top of the 4th on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Top of the fourth inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The Henley Hornets in the lead of this one, 27-0. Max Price still on the bump for Henley as he gets ready to face the middle of the Klamath Union order. Braden Dawson, Ryan Glidden, and Chase Connect due up for the Pels. Price has done a good job through 3 innings. No runs on 2 hits. They've committed 4 errors. For Henley, 27 runs on 15 hits. They've committed 1 error, but the number that jumps out to me, aside from the 27 runs, is the fact that Price has only allowed 2 base hits. This is a chopper out towards third. No one gets to it, and that might be ruled an infield single. We'll see. The official scorer says error. So that'll be an an E5 on Myers. As Dawson reaches first, though it doesn't quite matter at this point how you get those base runners. As Dawson aboard, Glidden. First pitch to him in the dirt. 1-0. Looks like the Henley KU softball game wrapped up not too long ago. Final score there, 16-0. Another Henley victory over Klamath Union. But back here, Henley up big, 27-0, and a 2-0 count right now to Ryan Glidden. Here in the top of the fourth inning, runner aboard at first is Dawson. That one is hit into right field. Patel having to go back. That's over his head. Could be extra bases, and it will be. Dawson waved around third. He's headed home. The throw in is not going to come, and a triple for Ryan Glidden gets KU on the board in the top of the fourth. Nice wrap there by Glidden to knock in the first run of the game for KU, and that brings up Chase Connect. He singled in his only at-bat so far back at the second inning, looking to keep it going with another run 90 feet away at third. First pitch is lifted into left field. Hamilton under it. He will make the catch. Tagging from third is Glidden, and he will score. 2 runs in for Klamath Union this inning. On a sacrifice fly there from Connect for the first out. Brings up Andrew Segura with the bases empty. And 2 runs home this inning. That's a sharp ground ball that will get into right field. And another base hit there for the Pelicans. Puts Segura on first. Pardon me, brings up Lamar Quaylar, who also singled in his one previous plate appearance. Hoping to keep a rally going for the Pelicans. They've already got 2 base hits this inning. The pitch to Quaylar. First pitch swinging right through it, 0-1. Wind picking up a little bit, blowing out towards left field. About 5 miles an hour earlier, probably up a few ticks from that. Swing and a miss on the curveball in the dirt from Quaylar, 0-2. On deck, Jamar Quaylar. But here's the 0-2 to Lamar. That is taken for strike 3. A nice bending curveball sets down Lamar, and it brings up Jamar. Hoping to keep the rally going to get the top of the order back up. Already 2 runs home this inning for KU. Here's the first pitch to Jamar Quaylar. It is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Aboard at first is Andrew Segura. Reached on a bases empty single. The 1-0 home. Swung and missed by Jamar Quaylar. Coming set is Price. And the 1-1 is in the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. Coming set again is Price. Delivers the 1-2. Taken outside. Looked like it might have been the changeup. 2-2, trying to get Cuellar to chase. But he won't bite. Again, on deck, top of the order is Jones. Here's the 2-2. That one is taken, strike 3 called. And the Pelicans do score a pair on a couple of base hits. They leave one stranded. They trail 27-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. Henley baseball in the bottom of the 4th inning of a 27-2 ball game. Due up this half for Henley, Thomas Bakke, Max Price, and Shiv Patel. Henley, the team in front here, the number 1 team in the state, showing us why against the last team in the state in Klamath Union. Safford on the mound into his 2nd inning of work. Pardon me, his 3rd inning, as that's a strike fired into Bakke. Bakke is 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field in the 3rd. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Had Bakke out in front of a good curveball there from Safford. Safford steps off, now resets, moving from the windup. The 0-2 is hit on the ground towards 3rd. Up with it is Kaufman, fires onto 1st. The throw is good, but not in time. Bakke beats out the throw for an infield single. And that will bring up Max Price. The freshman started on the mound today for Henley. He's done a good job. 0 for 1 at the plate. He's walked 3 times and scored 3 runs. And he's grounded out otherwise. He takes strike 1. 0-1 the count. Small lead off of 1st for Bakke. Here's the 0-1 home. Looked to be the off-speed pitch, low, but called a strike. 0-2, the count to Price. I think he's hoping he gets that call on the other side. Price down in the count. Safford delivers. Chopping ball towards 3rd, fielded in foul territory. Count remains 0-2. Dawson, the catcher, delivers the sign to Safford, who comes set. Delivers the 0-2 from the stretch. It is taken for strike 3 called, and Price goes down looking. And that will bring up Shiv Patel. Shiv has been hit by a pitch. and came around to score in the third inning. Hits one into the air to right field. And the catch will be dropped in right field. An error will allow Baki to move to second. Patel reaches on the error. And I believe that's Miles McAllister in right field. Who made the error? A change for KU's defense. This brings Carson Sims to the plate. He took ball one, skipped away from the catcher, but no one on the move on the base paths. No reason to be at this point in the ball game. Sims 0 for 1, reached on an error last inning. Again, still searching for his first base hit of the season as he takes strike one. Was selected, one of the last varsity selections was the freshman Sims, but he's gotten some good playing time in the few league games that we've seen so far. Here's the 1-1 home to Sims. Ripped down the third base line, off the chest of Cuellar, and it kicks away from him. That was a hard hit ball. Again, probably going to wind up being an error on the play, but Sims, while he might not be boosting that batting average, certainly getting the on-base percentage up, which is just as important. Bases are loaded for Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton is 0 for 1 today. He flew out in the third inning. The pitch is flared out towards first. Segura going to play it on a hop. Underhand toss to Safford at first. Gets one. But Baki does score from third. And so Henley now leading 28-2. And with runners at first and second, second and third as Patel moves to third. Sims to second. Back to the top of the order now for Ryan Douglas. Douglas singled, was left stranded in the third inning. Takes strike one called, 0-1. Safford comes set with the 0-1 and delivers. That one is hit shallow left field. Coming in is Jones, and he will call off the center fielder and won't make the catch. The two collided. Glidden and Jones hit each other in left center field and dropped the ball. That will score 2 runs as Patel scores, Sims scores from second, and Douglas is now at second after the error in left field. That is the 7th error Klamath Union has committed so far today, and it brings up Connor Shively. Score now 30-2. And that is going to get down into left field for a base hit. Douglas waved around to score. The throw will be late. And another run comes in for the Hornets. It's now 31-0 on an RBI single from Connor Shively. And they are going to relieve Safford of his pitching duties and bring in Chase Connect. It looks like we'll have some changes coming in for Klamath Union as we step aside with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 31-2 ball game. We'll be back as we continue your coverage of Henley baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Bottom of the fourth inning continues from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. The Hornets lead Klamath Union 31-2 as we resume the bottom of the fourth inning with a new Klamath Union pitcher. It'll be Chase Connect, who comes in relief of P.J. Safford. Now, Safford still responsible for the runner aboard at first. It's Connor Shively, but otherwise, he's been the longest tenured pitcher of Klamath Union this game. He worked 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 6 runs. Although only 2 of them earned, and he struck out 1. He didn't walk anybody, which is a good number for Klamath Union pitching. Otherwise, let's see, by my tally here, just going to add up some quick math real quick. They have allowed 13 free passes, including walks and hit-by pitches today, has Klamath Union. The first pitch from Connect will miss. 1-0 to Aiden Hayes, who has knocked in a few runs today. 3 RBIs to his total. His last at-bat was a sacrifice fly that knocked in 1. That was in the third inning. Takes a strike there, a ball and a strike to Hayes. The 0-1. That's hit in the air to left field. Under it is Jones. Going back off the wall. That will, Shively waved around, takes a big turn around third, but stays put. Hayes winds up at second, and so 2 runners in scoring position for Ian Myers. Myers is 0 for 2 today, a couple of flyouts. Came in relief of Mark Carpenter, who knocked in 6 runs in the first inning. It was a big 25-run first inning for Henley. Here's the pitch. Myers fouls it off, 0-1. 25 runs in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third, and already 4 home this inning for Henley. 0-1 the count to Myers. That one in the dirt. Ball and a strike. Hornets looking to bat around, potentially for the second time this game. Well, I guess it would be more like the 4th time this game, as they did it 3 times in the first inning. 2-1 the count now to Myers. The shortstop, Safford, played well to the left side, almost playing back up to third base. So a big gap up the middle for Myers, who's now ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Thomas Bakke, who singled and would come around to score earlier this inning. The 3-1. That one's ripped into center field, down for a base hit. That will score 1 as Shively touches home, but that will be it. As Henley now leads 32-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Runners at the corners. After an RBI single, scored Shively, Hayes to third. And now Thomas Bakke bats for the second time this inning. Stepping in, he singled, again came around to score, otherwise he's flown out this game. He rips one deep into left field. Jones going back, and that is gone. Thomas Bakke with a 3-run blast to make this one 35-2. And that will bring us back around to Max Price. Struck out earlier this inning, otherwise he's grounded out. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 35-2 ball game. Henley's put up an 8 spot here in the 4th. Connect comes set and delivers. Finds the zone, 0-1. And the 0-1 on the way. That one is hit into shallow center field. Moving over is the second baseman. Kaufman makes a spectacular catch in center field, ranging over to the other side of the bag and securing it for the third and final out. But again, not before the Hornets put up an 8 spot. 3 of them coming on a Thomas Bakke home run, his first of the season. We head to the top of the 5th where Henley looks to close this one out on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies a team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Preparing for the top of the 5th inning in a game that was more than likely decided long time ago. 35-2 the score as the Hornets lead the Pelicans. 35 runs on 19 hits. 2 errors and 5 runners left for Henley in the game. Klamath Union 2 runs on 4 hits, 7 errors for the Pelicans. They've left 4 runners on base this game. As we get ready for the top of the 5th inning as the Hornets look to slam the door on the Pelicans. First pitch swung on and missed by McAllister. Oh, and 2 the count now to McAllister. Price has pitched well today. The 0-2 swung on and missed in the dirt. Kicks away from Shively for a moment, but throw on to Bakke in time for the first out. That will bring up Tilden Kaufman. Kaufman stepping in now is 0 for 2. A couple of groundouts to shortstop on the game so far. Swings at a fastball out of the zone for a strike. 0-1. The count. The 0-1 from Price is grounded back up the middle. Sims up with it. The throw on to first is in time for the second out. So the Pelicans down to their final out. It is P.J. Safford who looks to extend the game for Klamath Union. Safford is 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a flyout. The right-handed sophomore for KU settles in. That pitch is fouled off. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Safford. Hit on the ground towards short. Hayes up with it. The throw on to first is picked out of the dirt. A nice play by Bakke to end the game. The final score for us today, Henley 35 and Klamath Union 2. We'll be back to recap what we've got for you coming up on the other side. Appreciate you sticking with us through this one on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. Your coverage of Henley Hornets baseball continues in just a moment.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And welcome you back to Henley High School. The final score between the Hornets and the Pelicans today, 35-2. For Henley today, 35 runs on 21 hits. They committed 2 errors. They left 5 runners on base today. For Klamath Union, 2 runs on 4 hits. They committed 7 errors, and they only left 4 runners on base. The final tally is 22 earned runs for Henley today. 13 free passes given up by the Klamath Union pitching staff winds up in a 35-2 blowout. The winning pitcher is going to be Max Price. He worked 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, each of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out 5. For Klamath Union, the losing pitcher today would be Jack Everett, who did not record an out in his first inning. He gave up 6 hits, 9 runs, each of them earned, and he walked 2. Ryan Glidden came in relief of him, gave up 7 runs, 6 of them earned and walked 5. And Quaylar gave up 7 runs, 5 of those earned. It wasn't until P.J. Safford entered the game and worked 2 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 5 hits, only 2 earned runs, but 7 came across on his watch. He struck out 1 as well. A couple of notables for the Henley offense today. How about Mark Carpenter, who only played the first inning today, but he knocked in 7 RBIs on 2 home runs. A grand slam included in that as well. Another home run was hit by Thomas Bakke, who finished the game 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. This one going into the book as a convincing Henley win. It will be their 12th on the season, therefore a leading 12th win on the season. They'll be back on Saturday for a doubleheader against Mazama. You'll be able to watch and listen to that game right here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Meantime, for the Klamath Union Pelicans, they'll be at home at Kiger Stadium on Saturday, where they play the Phoenix Pirates. Once again, the final score for you this evening. Henley 35, Klamath Union 2. Want to thank all the folks who make tonight's broadcast possible. Both head coaches for working with us before the broadcast, Mr. Michael Overstreet of the Klamath Union Pelicans and Joe Tacchini of the Henley Hornets. If you'd like to watch a replay of this game or any other Henley League baseball games this season, you could do so on mybasin.com. It's your home for everything going on in the Klamath Basin, from news to sports to special events and everything else in between. Find it on mybasin.com. The Hornets win this one 35-2. My name is Josh Eldridge saying good night from Rosser Field at Henley High School.